You know, especially on the new record, if I think of Fool, the title track,
Yeah,
there's so much about it that keeps drawing me in. There's some part of it that's like
right.
almost like a medieval melody.
Yeah, I somehow managed to quote from Shakespeare in that song because I got into this idea of the fool. I wanted to write a song about humor, and I didn't really know how to do it. And again, this is songs gradually piece themselves together from bits and pieces. I had this idea of the fool, the jester, who is actually not foolish at all. He knows what he's doing. He's the smartest guy there in the plays of Shakespeare. He's the one that will tell the truth. You know, like in King Lear, he's the only guy that tells the king that he's losing his mind, and he gets away with it. You know, anyone else, right? So the fool's kind of special, and I got this idea that he could be like a superhero. This guy who's dressed in a jester outfit, and he's a superhero, and his power is to make you laugh. And because humor is something that's always with us throughout history, he's also immortal. He can't be killed. I mean, every tyrant in history has hated to be mocked. So they always try to censor or shut down humor. And it never works in the end. So that was the idea of that song. And I wanted it to reflect this kind of, I mean, it's like you said, a lot of different things happen in the song. I just kept saying, well, let's put this in as well. Let's throw this, like everything but the kitchen sink gets thrown in there. Because it's almost like every time you think you know what it is, the fool sort of goes like that and it does something else. And I think it ends up being like just a big party in one song. It's the way I like to think of it.
So in the new record, the idea was to play the songs live first for a period of time
Yeah,
and then record them,
that's
which
right.
is, we would call it old school, but it's the way that you would kind of get inside the life of the song and live it for a while until
Yeah.
you could express it.
Yeah.
So was that a conscious decision before making the
Yeah.
new record?
Well, it's something I've wanted to do for years. And it's an idea that gets shot down in flames for logistical reasons or money reasons or something like this. I've spoken to other artists who have agreed with me absolutely on this, that the usual thing is you write some new songs and you rehearse them and you go in the studio and record them, and then you go out and play them on the road. But by the time you're already a month or two into touring, they're so much better. You know, I mean, everyone's more comfortable with them. Everyone's playing better. I'm singing better. And you think, God, I wish we could record the album now. And that happens so much. So my idea was, let's do it. Let's actually do it. Let's go out and do not a long tour because we don't want to be exhausted at the end of it, but enough that we get to play all the new songs quite a lot live. And then instead of going home and then going into a studio, wherever we end up the tour, we record the album. We're still on the road, you know, so we're still in that momentum of being on the road. As opposed to, you go home, you got to wait a few days for all the equipment to get there. And then people are more concerned about getting a parking space and stuff, you know what I mean, than making music.
Yeah.
So in this case, we actually did it. We ended the tour in Boise, Idaho, and there was a studio there we thought was okay. So that's why the album was recorded in Boise, Idaho, folks, which is quite a nice place, actually.
It is. And maybe there's something to the idea that if you're doing it in a place that is foreign maybe to everyone,
Yeah.
you're sort of sequestered into an area where the focus is really about the music.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you're not in a comfortable place to maybe make the record because you don't know it, but at the same,
Yeah.
with the same idea in mind, you're sort of focusing in on what's most important. You're there for the music.
That's right.
Only.
Yeah, there was no distractions.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, we recorded it really fast.
Very fast.
You know, a week and a half, something. I think it was all done.
And there was a process where there was a sort of a board that we could use for marker to decide on what was accomplished and what was yet to be accomplished,
Yeah,
which
the
was actually a
whiteboard.
great process.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have to do that. Otherwise, you forget and, you break down everything, you go home and you realize, damn, we didn't do that backing vocal on this song. Well, then, yeah. So it was a checklist. Yeah.
Was there a decision to record certain things in their entirety, or was it a process of where you would record the band live and then decide at that point, I feel the vocal very strongly, I think this is the time to do it?
Yeah, but it's not about how I feel it's the right time to do it. Is my voice warmed up enough that I can do it and it's going to sound all right? It's far more mundane than that. I'm not a great singer. I've figured out over the years how to use my voice to the best I can, and that does involve certain rituals and exercises and so on to warm up my voice and not strain it and not try to do a lead vocal on take for an album when my voice is tired. We'll do it tomorrow, whatever. So it's really more about that.